Yes, the repression of foreign journalists inside China has become, even in the last 2 years, extremely severe, to the extent that journalists have a lot of difficulty doing the most basic reporting. Now it's pretty standard. I've seen, I left China in September last year, but I've seen my friends being harassed, detained, manhandled, roughed up out there, just doing ordinary stories, not necessarily just in Xinjiang. It's kind of expected if you go to Xinjiang. And my experience of going to Xinjiang last in September was, yes, I was surrounded by police the entire time, and it was impossible to do any reporting. But lots of journalists have been detained, often just for an hour or 12 hours or something. But in September last year, the last 2 Australian media journalists in China had to rush to their embassies in the middle of the night and seek, protection, and were 5 days later evacuated from under diplomatic agreement from China. That plus the fact that a Chinese Australian journalist, Cheng Lei, she was detained in, I think, August. She is still detained today, but she was an anchor for the English language state broadcaster. She was literally reading the government's propaganda, and even she was not safe. So she's on espionage-related charges, I think. So this just shows that nobody is safe in China now. I think China has decided that they don't need foreign correspondents anymore, that maybe the financial press is still useful to them. The press was useful to them in the early 2000s when they were attracting foreign money. But now they have the wolf warriors on Twitter. Now they have CCTV in 12 languages. They view foreign correspondents as just kind of ways to, just pesky. We just tell stories about China that China doesn't want known, like the cultural genocide happening in Xinjiang. So I think that's a big shift. And certainly nobody's getting into China anymore these days. Just quickly, I don't think either country, North Korea or China, has any incentive to ease up on this. What's going to make them do it? I have no idea. They are impervious to international opinion. They have decided that the costs of acting like this are worth the benefits. So I don't see anything changing. In fact, I think that they're both paranoid, and they know that if they did ease up, that this would shake their foundations and shake their hold on the systems there. What can we do about Kim Jong-un? I had always been very pro-engagement and thought that the regime survived this long by cutting itself off from the outside world, and that we should not be helping them to do that. We should be flooding them with information, encouraging exchanges, trying to open their eyes as much as possible. But everything that I've seen in China kind of negates that, because China has been able to create an entirely parallel internet, has been able to strike fear into people so that there's very, very little dissent anymore.